What's going on, Workforce? Brian here, and in today's video we're breaking down the Orbonne Monastery raid, the new 24-man raid as of patch 4.5. Now in this video we're going to be breaking down the first pull and the first two bosses. There's going to be a part 2 of this guide that we're going to link to in the description and as well as a card in this video, so that way you can jump to boss number 3 and boss number 4 specifically. Now, with all that out of the way, we hope you like this video, we hope you share it, and if you're not a part of the workforce, please hit that subscribe button. But without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into the different fights of this encounter. So when you first zone in, your first encounter is going to be 3 harpies. This is just a typical trash pull. Now the 3 harpies are going to use an ability called Blasphemous Howl. There's also going to be various AoEs on the ground, and then they're going to use Devastate, in which obviously you have a varying turn mechanic. So just make sure you're not looking at the harpies at this time. After defeating the harpies, a monastic ghost followed by 6 other skeletons are going to rush here in the center. All you need to do is focus on burning these guys down, as well as avoiding any AoEs and obviously raid-wide damage that goes out. One thing to look out for is the monastic ghost will put out a kind of an area that is going to encompass half of the ring, obviously if you've got him in the center. So just keep that in mind, to be kind of midway so that way you can easily clear it. And after that, let's go to our first boss. Our first boss is Mustadio. He is a mech-like machine. We've seen this guy in the trailer. He's got his sniper gun. He's got an ability called Energy Burst. It's going to put out just raid-wide damage on the group. Now his ability, Arm Shot, this is going to be his tank buster, so healers just be ready to guard your tank. Now his ability Left Headgun and Right Headgun will be rolling out next. This is going to take up a good 60% of the ring. You're going to see it in this kind of conal shape, but with it a little bit more. Either be far enough away so you can run out of it, or be close enough. A good strategy right here is to stack up also behind him so that whether it's left or right, you can move. Now his ability Maintenance, he's going to pick out various robots that are on the side or various objects within the ring. To start, it's going to be on the side. These are just going to put out a blast in the direction in which they're facing, so it's just best to find a safe spot and avoid it. Now he's also going to mark various targets with a red circle. This is then going to put down various tracking AoEs that will follow them as they move, so make sure you guys don't run into each other with this. Then you'll start to see mechanics repeat, Arm Shot being the tank buster, heal, mitigate through that as best as possible. Now around 70-72%, he's going to do analysis. This is going to mark various targets with an object on their body. One part of this is not going to have a, it's not a complete circle, there's going to be a gap there. This is where you get this epic cutscene that you remember from the trailers, and here he's going to snipe out everybody. Now what you want to do is you want to put this part of the circle that is not filled in facing where he is, and he can be on different parts of the arena. So you want to find him, then you want to make sure the gap is facing him. You're still going to get hit for a lot of damage, and you're going to get knocked down. Anybody who does get hit is going to get hit even harder if they survive it all, and will also be knocked back. Now his ability Leg Shot is going to put various mines down on the ground. Just make sure you're not standing on them, otherwise you're going to get blasted. Now you're going to start to see mechanics repeat, and here's where he does maintenance, and he's going to pick on various targets within the level itself. So first you went outside the ring, next you went inside the ring. This is going to basically mark 1/4 of the level in a square with an AoE. Now you're going to start to see this stack up on itself to where he's going to mark targets on the outside of the ring and targets on the inside of the ring, thus making it very difficult to try to find that safe spot. But there will be one. So you want to look at in straight lines, and you also want to avoid any of the squares in which that he's marked a target within the ring. He'll also then start marking various targets with an AoE that's around them, just spread that out, and here's where he's going to start stacking mechanics on top of each other. And he'll continue to do analysis. Again, you want to make sure you line up that spot. You want to find out where he jumped to in the level, and you want to line up your circle so that you're protected. Now it's at this point that you've seen all the mechanics that he has to offer you, and you're just going to have to rinse and repeat, damage, heal through, mitigate. Pretty standard at this point. So just pay attention to where you're standing and where he's standing. That left and right hands gone is very devastating and can really hurt the group if you're not paying attention. Anyway, if you have any questions on Mustadio, feel free to ask me in the comments below. I'll see if I can't clarify anything after the fact. But let's go ahead and move on to boss number 2. Boss number 2 is Agrias. In this, you're going to be in the circular arena. Now, there is no trash pull between this boss and the next. Her first ability she's going to toss out is Divine Light. This is just going to be raid-wide damage that you just need to heal through. One thing to note is you also have an action for this fight, so just keep that in mind. Now, Thunder Slash is this big conal attack, so do not stand in front of her unless you are a tank. She's going to put out a lot of damage. Now, as a part of that action that I just mentioned, she's going to put out various things on the field. In this case, a shield. Now, you want to go and use that shield, and you're going to get this little shield buff that's going to protect you from the damage that goes out. It's going to save your life. It still can knock you back, and she has a couple different things that she does with this shield attack, so just keep that in mind. And we're going to go show you each different possibility that she has for the shields. There's also a section where swords will come up, and we'll show that here in a little bit as well. Now, Cleansing Flame is going to put out various target markers on the ground around you. You want to run out, and it's going to be this big circle of light. Stacking this, getting more than one, especially as a caster or a ranged DPS, will take you out pretty easily, so keep that in mind. Now, you'll see Cleansing Strike, and this is going to mark various targets with a sword over their head. This is going to absorb them into another dimension to where they have various ghouls that they need to take down. Now, while they're off doing their thing, she's going to use Concentration. Concentration is going to take various people and put them in these prisons. You need to go over to the sword sections, use your action ability to get Heavenly Sword to break them out of their prisons. Otherwise, they're going to get devastated when this next attack goes off. Now, Hollowed Bolt is going to mark two sections of the arena in these various donuts, and then there's going to be an inner donut that's going to fire off kind of back to back. So it's a little bit in and out. You want to try to position this to make it easy on everybody. Stand on the edge to be able to run either in or out. Next, she's going to do Judgment Blade. This is another shield defensive maneuver. Judgment Blade, again, putting out damage. Having the shield, you'll be able to survive for it and even potentially mitigate it completely. So just pay attention to the shield. At this point, she's going to summon a Shield Knight and 2 Sword Knights. You're going to want to burn these ads down as quickly as possible. Take advantage of the A, B, and C markers to make sure that you burn all of these down. While this is going on, while she's charging it up, she's going to be charging up her Holy Blade, and you're going to want to make sure that it does not hit 100%. So you've got 3 ads to defeat in a certain period of time. The sooner the better, and burn these guys down. During this, you also see those big AoEs. Very little place to be safe, so just try to make it. If nothing else, don't stand in both of them. Holy Blade's going to go off, put out raid-wide damage. As long as you keep her under fully charged, you should be able to easily survive it. Now, Divine Runification is going to fire off again. This is a shield moment, straight line AoE that's going to put out a lot of damage on people, but the shield will keep you safe. Now, if you happen to get marked by Cleansing Strike, you'll be absorbed into this portal where various ghosts are going to be coming at you. There's going to be ghosts that are only going to be defeated by the sword ability here. So you want to go in here, grab the sword, and you want to go slice them down. You need to target them and then use the ability. The ghosts that don't have a shield on them, you can kill, and you want to kill them before they get to the center. Otherwise, they're going to put out raid-wide damage. While all this is going on, you have Doom, and it's constantly counting down. So this is a DPS, time, and mechanic check. For every ghost that hits the center and blows up, you're going to get a vulnerability stack. The more that happens, it's going to be hard to survive this. If you don't, you're going to end up coming back to this part dead, and then it's just going to have to be people are going to have to pick you up and revive you. At this point, you've seen all the mechanics in this fight. Just rinse and repeat, shield up, sword up, and heal and damage as best as possible. And with that, what we're going to do now is we're going to toss over to Chris, who's going to pick it up with the next pool, as well as the final 2 bosses, the Thunder God and Ultima. So Chris, I leave them in your capable hands. Thank you, everybody. Let me know if you have any questions on boss number 2, and I'll see you next time.
Oh, hello. Were you expecting somebody? Chuck-like? Well, I'll never tell where he is. Only that if you want to see your friend again, you should totally hit subscribe. And maybe even a thumbs up. Thumbs down don't make me happy. And when I'm not happy, something happens to Chuck. I'm not joking. Goodbye. Subscribe. I'm still here. I'm not going anywhere. See you next time.